Hi, it's Debbie with Kip's Corner. Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. Well, today is the last day of the month of March. And so today I'm going to finish up my series on one tag, 8 ways, but now it's 10 because there's actually 5 Wednesdays in March. So this is the 5th Wednesday. Just to recap really quick, let's see. Week 1, I did layering tags. And so the base, you can see it really well here. This is the base tag used as a starting point or an ending point for all of the tags. So there's week 1, week 2, did little ones. Week 3 was these. And week 4 was these. So, and then this opens. I won't show you necessarily, don't need to, but you get the idea. Watch the videos. These are the first 4 weeks of the month, and now we're on week 5. So this week, I'm going to do a couple things, and I've got a lot of pre-prep done just because I didn't want this video to be ridiculously long. And so what I've done, this is a tag, this is a base tag from Prima Marketing, and I've had to put a layer of white gesso on the front. You can kind of see it bleeding over on the back. I'll cover the back later with some tea-dyed paper or just some solid paint. Then the front, on the front, I have my base tag laid down, and then I have, I believe that's 1/2" score tape going all the way around the outer edge. So that's all I've done for that so far. This, I'm a little further. Here's my base tag. I've cut it out and inked around the edges. And this is player piano paper that I've just adhered to the top of some craft card stock using some matte medium. And I've got a couple magnets in here. So here's the card stock. And you can see on this side, I did some, I just put some distressed ink and then dropped some water on it, on it just to give it a little worn look there. But then here's the rest of it. I have a magnet attached to the inside here, and I have a magnet attached to the outside here so that my closure is magnetized. Goodness, I can't talk today. And so I'll be finishing that off as well. And so this now is, and this is a suggestion from one of the comments from the last video. Thank you very much. To make something other than a tag using the tag. And funny, I hadn't given that much thought until I saw that comment. And I was like, oh yeah, duh, great idea. So I will be making a little envelope using this tag, and I'll show you what I'm going to do to finish that off in a minute. We're going to start though, I think I'm going to start with making a mess. I'm going to use, this is fine metallic flakes from it's Art Ingredients from Prima Marketing, and it's a part of the Finnabar line. And these are gilding flakes. So here, you can see the back there. And this color is called Barcelona, and it's gold and black and red. So what I'm going to do, there's a couple different ways to adhere this. You can use the gilding glue, which I do have, and it comes out, it's in a glue bottle, comes out of the tip. Or you can also adhere it with double-sided tape. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, now what I'm going to do is go around and add my flakes. And these, I think this is going to make a mess. These are fly away. Don't breathe heavy. Don't sneeze, whatever you do. I'm just going to pick them up and start laying them down. Okay, let me get my, big mess, messy stuff, this gold stuff, this shiny stuff's gonna be everywhere. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is go back through, and I'm just gonna start pushing down, and I wanna see if I see any holes along the way. going to start brushing it off. And I think that's probably about as good as it's going to get right now. But here we go. So now we've created a little border around the tag that has now allowed us to create sort of a frame on that tag. This stuff is still flying. Still flying everywhere. It's everywhere. Yeah, it'll be everywhere for probably, it's like glitter. Or it sort of acts like glitter, you know, in its fly-awayness, light, it gets everywhere mode, but that's okay. That's all right, it's done. And we have this little border here. And let me get up close and show you. Just really pretty. Okay, since I've got a very sort of matte background and a very shiny edge, I wanted to introduce some more shine. So I added, this is Crackle Paste, Distress Crackle Paste. Is that focusing? There you go. Icicle. This is a part of a 2-tube kit. I don't remember what else was in there, but I think Icicle was in the Christmas-ish December release from Tim Holtz. Sort of a in and out. I don't think it's available all of the time. I think it was a special holiday release. I might be wrong about that. So this has, you can see it, it's got that shine and that crackle on it. And that's gonna go somewhere around in there. And then I have a butterfly who's got that same red and black in him, or very close colors, and he's gonna go somewhere around there. But before I put those pieces on, I want to toss a little bit of cheesecloth on here. So let's see. This is just a natural colored cheesecloth, as soon as I get it out here. I haven't dyed this piece that I'm cutting on. Haven't done anything to it, and this is probably way too big, but actually here, before I do that, let me get this glued down. This is just a scrap piece of cardboard I have that I cut just ever so slightly smaller than my square. The square on top that I'm using is also from Compendium MK2. Tracy has a page of, I would call them kind of domino squares in there. And that's what that one comes from. I don't know if you guys can hear the barking dog, but I'm gonna go let the barking dog in. So I've got that glued down. So that'll just raise that up just a tiny bit. And I think underneath that, then I think I want to put some cheesecloth. So, yeah, just to draw a little attention. This is too big of a piece. Let's cut this off here. I have this old piece that I've been cutting on. It's in pieces. I think it's just got gorgeous lace on the outside. It might look pretty cool. Let's try it. Let's set that aside. And because I think what I'm feeling is that this needs to be toned down just a tiny bit. So, yeah. Yep. Let's do that. Okay. While that sits, let's go to this. Now on this one, I do want to do some sewing, but before I do, I want to talk a little bit about what I'm going to do here. Obviously, when you fold this tag up on itself like this, your bottom piece that comes up is going to be upside down. Now, if you don't have any words on the piece you're using, that's just fine. In this case, we do. It says calendar. So we're going to cover that. So first thing I want to do is get this glued down. So I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to try to get it in the center. I'm going to glue it down, and then I'm going to sew on it. And So I'm not going to take my glue all the way to the edge. I'm going to leave a little bit of space, and I'm not going to necessarily put a ton of glue on here. Whoops, I said I'm not going to the edge. But I am going to hit that fold mark pretty well where I scored it. And I just scored it after I folded up the piece with the player piano paper on it. All right. This is my top here. And if you can tell, my magnet is on the top here. I don't have anything covering it. That's because I don't need anything covering it, because I'm going to cover it with this piece. And so that'll give it that protection that it needs. That's pretty much centered. And I am covering up a lot of the player piano paper. That's okay. I'm going to keep this folded as I go along. And that's not dead center, but good enough. And there we go. So now that piece is tacked on. I'm going to let it dry. And then once that dries, I'm going to go in and do some sewing and close this envelope up. But that's basically how it will open and close. And then we'll come back and do some decorations to it and fix that calendar being upside down. There's a couple different ways to do that. But what I'm going to do is cover it. The other thing you can do is you could cut this out of, a second tag and flip it around, and glue it on top there. You could put a label there. You could, really anything. You could leave it actually upside down. There's nothing wrong with it being upside down. So let's let that glue dry, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I did some sewing. I thought my machine was set on zigzag stitch, and it wasn't. I don't even know what that is, but then I switched to zigzag when I closed up the envelope. So it's just a messy sort of stitching, par for the course for me. But this is just about ready to decorate. And this one, this is dry now, and this is dry. And the glitter glossy gilding, in hindsight, I think it probably should have just done, instead of a 1/2 inch score tape, I should have used a skinnier score tape. So it just is very, there's a little piece right there that's coming up. It's just very overpowering. And so I put a few more lace pieces on, hoping that would kind of tone it down just a little bit. But it is what it is. And now I've got this butterfly. I'm not going to do anything to the top of the butterfly because I do want him to remain just the matte finish of the paper. So no gloss, no shine on the butterfly. And I'm going to attach it right there. And I'm just going to glue him. I've got him pushed up just a little bit. I'm going to curl that wing, those wings a tiny bit, just to give it a little bit of dimension. Just going to curl it just a little tiny bit with my fingers and bend those wings up. And then I'm going to put the glue right there. Right there. And I'm going to put her, I don't know, I think it's a her. I'm going to put her right about there. And just tap that down. Go ahead and put a little more curl into my wing here. There we go. Looks like it's moving a little bit. And, okay, what else do I need to do to finish this? I need to put my hole in the top, and I need to do something to get rid of my white edges. So I think the best action there is going to be just black ink. So I'm going to use I can grab it here. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera. I'm going to use my archival ink. And I'm just going to run this, I think, yeah. Just going to run that on the edges. Okay. Ooh, yeah. Oh, look, black all over my hands. It's archival, so it's not going to come off. Let's let that dry. And then we'll see if that ink still comes off on my hands like it did. Okay. So I was just playing with some lace pieces, and the first thing I thought I want to do is I want to run, and look, my machine goobered on me right there, but that's all right. Just adds to the charm. First thing I want to do is run a little piece of lace right here on the edge. A little trim. It's really not lace, it's trim. And I have this little scrap piece that I think will be perfect. Yep. So I'm just going to tap that on. There we go. How's that? Cute. Okay. Let me cut that off. Yeah. Okay. That's cute. Okay, and now, remember I've got that word calendar that's upside down. So I thought I would use this piece. Let's see if I can figure out which is the front and which is the back. I think that's the back. And I'm just going to dab some lace on. Well, is it? Actually, I think that's the back. It's kind of hard to tell. That's the back. Okay, let me dab some pieces on here. Not pieces. Some glues, dab some glues. I'm gonna leave that dangle down. So I'm just putting glue up here on the top part. Oh, I take that back. I'm gonna put a little bit down here. Okay. Let's try that. And I'm gonna put that right there over the word. I probably should have ironed this. I'm going to leave that dangle down like that. And then I think I want to put, a button on it. Do I want another piece of lace on top of that? Do I, huh? Do I? Oh, it's probably not necessary. But I do kind of like it. So I like the black threads that are in there. So I'm going to chop a little piece of this off. And tuck that right to the side of where I think I'm going to put the button. Again, you really don't need a whole lot of glue. I'm going to put that right a little further in, right like that. And then this one, I'm gonna use Fabri-Tac on the button. This button already had thread on it, so, but if it hadn't, when I have these old buttons and they don't have thread, I'll just go ahead and run some thread in them or sew them directly onto the piece. I like buttons that have thread on them already. They look more finished to me. All right, but I want to get that. I'm going to keep this closed because I want this button to be below that. Doesn't have to be centered. There we go. But I like the black threads from that little tiny piece of vintage lace coming through. I completely forgot that way back, I don't know, a couple videos ago, I had made this little piece thinking that I was going to use it and never did. And this is from the tag that sits next to this one on the sheets that this tag is from. And so of course I've got a couple of them because, you know, when I printed them out, some of them, you know, extra ones printed out. And so it's this piece right here that I just took. I had taken my hole punch and punched it out. inked around the edges a little. I adhered it to, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 pieces of just craft cardstock, also punched. Put the circle together, and then I put, what did I use on top? Glossy accents, maybe? I think I used glossy accents on top. So it's a shiny, kind of a shiny little button, and it's warped a little. But what I'm gonna do, and then I have this little tiny piece, offcut piece here, left over also. So it's an itty bitty scrap, and I don't normally keep scraps quite this small, but it kind of happened to be sitting right here on the side of my desk. And so I'm going to tuck that here, I think. And there we go. I like that. I feel like it's a nice little finished piece. The sewing is not the greatest, but it's fun just because it's a little different and a lot wonky. And that is done. And we have just completed the 9th tag, or the 9th way to work with a tag. And so we have, or excuse me, 10. I can't count. 10. 10. 1 tag, 10 ways. And just very quickly to recap, this is the tag that I started with. This is from Tracy Fox Creative, Love Junk Journals on Etsy, and it is the kit, from the kit, Compendium MK2. One of the newer kits, I think this just came out this year, or at least very late last year. And I have number 10 here. I used the gilding flakes on the edge of this. It's very bright. That's Barcelona. And then just to tone it down just a little bit because it was a little shiny, I just added a few pieces of the edge of an old handkerchief, some lacy edges. This is a square, or a rectangle I should say, also from Compendium. There's a page of sort of domino sized pieces, and I used that. I put some icicle crackle paste from Tim Holtz, Distress Icicle Crackle on top of that, just to, again, it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. And then the butterfly I die cut from it's from one of the mix and match kits. I believe it is in Compendium, or not Compendium, Mega Mix and Match 2, but it might be 1. But I die cut the butterfly out of that, from that kit, and just glued it all together. The domino piece is raised up just a little bit. I don't know if you can see that or not a lot, just a little bit of height, so the butterfly sits up a tiny bit. So there's tag number 10. And then number 9, or this is 9 and this is 10, it doesn't really matter how you look at it. Number 9 is the exact same tag that I wrapped around a piece. This was a piece of craft cardstock that I used player piano paper on top of, that I adhered with just some the lightweight matte medium. I added a magnet in here and back here, so this has a magnetic close, but this pocket goes all the way through, and where the magnet is protected by another piece of cardstock, so coming in and out, you won't pop it off. Then I did some sewing, some wonky sewing all the way around, and added some bits of lace and a button. And this piece is from the tag that sits next to this one on the page, that I just used my 1-inch hole punch, punched it out, glued it to the top of several pieces of craft cardstock that were also 1-inch punches, just to give it some depth. Looks a little bit like a milk, what are those called? Milk, not tabs, lids, milk carton lid, anyway. And then it's got glossy accents on top. And so that one is number 9. And then we're done. That's it. This has been the most fun video for me, or series, I should say. This has been an awesome series to work on. I think that the the goal, which was to really showcase the different things, the many different things that you can do with just a simple tag out of a digital kit. And so digital kits are an awesome way to go for versatility. You could cut a tag shape yourself out of a page anywhere. The point is that there are so many different techniques you can use. There are so many different things you can do. Do I personally love every single one of these? Nope. And I'm not going to tell you which ones I don't like, and I don't hate them. But I have some that are very much my favorite because some of them are more in my regular style. Do I have any that I absolutely hate? No. But there are some in this pile that I like better than others. And that's kind of the point too. We all have different styles. We all have different tastes and different takes on things. And we're all going to take even something as simple as the same tag and make it ours and make it unique and make it different. So have fun being you, have fun being unique, and yeah, that's it. Thank you for a great month. I really appreciate it, and I will be back soon with a new project that I'm going to start on. Thanks again for your support. Bye-bye.